I want to, you arrive, and one of the first things you say is, the conservatives haven't found a way to stop me yet. Would you touch on addressing the elephant in the room right
The
off the
orange elephant?
well, all the elephants, but yes, that one in particular, but all of them really. But just being like, hey, this is because you had a quiet year. Not much happened this year, right?
No, not at all. I'm bored to death. I'm rested. I mean, what's been going on out there? I haven't even checked. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I don't know
Uh,
what's happening.
you know what? I will be very frank with you, and it's a very scary time. And I know this isn't what this is about, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about it anyway.
Yeah.
Um, we're now faced with the next 4 years where this show may not be able to be a reality, and we're maybe not aired in this country. I'm not sure what that looks like,
Mhm.
but we do know that there's a lot of anti-gay and anti-queer, anti-trans rhetoric, and who is about to be our president's speeches, and that concerns me. It concerns me for all of the people that I've met doing the show, all of the people that watch the show, the cast, the crew of whom I've all become very close with. As a matter of fact, I was just thinking about this as I was getting ready. When I first looked at my phone after the results came in, the first 3 out of 4 people that messaged me were people that I met on the Daddy TV crew.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
which
you're
meant
building,
I know what time zones they live in,
yeah,
and they were either up very early, up very late, or most likely
yeah,
hadn't slept at all. And yeah, our Andrew, who works on the show, and Saint, who works on the show, they were the first 2 people to message me
yeah,
to see if I was okay.
yeah. I I love that they did that. And that shows also that you're building this kind of chosen logical family, which I think so many of us are doing.
I think so too. The whole Daddy TV and Out TV crew, they're just amazing to work for, and
Yeah.
they really care about people. They really care about the contestants. I'm on my comedy tour now, and several of the contestants from previous seasons have come out to see me.
Yeah.
Um, and this isn't about my stuff, obviously. This is about For the Love of DILFS.
Yeah.
But I have a show that I'm writing and directing called Woke Up Late, and Scritch, who is our art director, works in the art department for the show, started as a PA, started, I believe, as a contestant on one of the other Daddy TV shows that I was not a part of. So they really are a family. They bring you in, and they never let you leave.
One of the things I think that For the Love of Dilfs does really well, even though it's a fluffy, fun kind of like doesn't feel like something important. It's just entertainment, right? Except it's about queer sex and
Right.
relationships, and that is a form of resistance. Would you touch on that?
Sure. And I think that strangely, I was having this conversation with my daughter and explaining that because she hasn't seen the show. She's not old enough quite to watch that. She's seen clips of it, clips of me or whatever, but
Yeah.
she hasn't watched it start to finish. So as I'm explaining to her what it's about visually, if you're just seeing little snapshots or you're seeing the commercials or me and these funny outfits doing these challenges, she was like, I don't really. She tried to critique me and said, I think this is a serious matter, Mom. I don't know if you should be. I was like, no. Let me explain it in
Hmm.
depth. I was like, this is the first show to really address these issues. They're very open about consent. My daughter's big on having these consent conversations, which I'm
Good.
very proud of. She's only 13, and she's like, we kind of rap. She goes, so you kind of trick straight people into watching it because they think that it's going to be a hot mess express, her words, and
Hmm.
there's really some valuable lessons. I was like, yeah. She goes, Mom, you're like Mary Poppins. I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. She's like, you're tricking them into watching these very important topics. And I was like, that's an interesting way of saying it. She goes, well, that's the only way you can make these straight idiots pay attention to anything about women's consent and gay rights. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're 13. But she's not wrong.
Yeah.
Um, but I will say that for the queer community, it's a very impactful, important show. It's the first of its kind. I never expected this role to be so important to myself.
Hmm.
You know, we wrapped season 3. Fingers crossed for season 4.
Yeah.
And this is a show that, keep in mind, I kind of said no to. And at
Yeah.
season 1, like I was like, I don't want to do reality TV. I don't want to be accused of exploiting the gay community, all
Hmm.
this stuff. And then I really got to know them and see it's not scripted, it's not contrived. We do have these really heartfelt talks about consent, about body autonomy, about gender and coming out, and mental health, and all of these things that are so important.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, there's something that happens on this show that we have to involve. We have to involve a doctor, and I mean, it's a really beautiful show wrapped up in a fun package.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud of it, and I hope that I could continue to do it. Hopefully I don't get deported and I don't have to do it via satellite from my secret lair hiding from the orange elephant. Yeah, I said it.
Well, same. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen to queer journalists like me, so we'll see.
Exactly. Well, I'm tell you that my heart goes out to you, concerned about you, because not only are you, covering queer things and this and that, which is, might not be a thing, but he openly said, he put a target on all the journalists back and
Yeah.
people who speak out. And so I hope for your safety and I wish you all the best as well. It's a very scary time, and
Well,
hopefully it works out okay and we can all watch For the Love of DILF season 3 and have at least a small moment of laughter and
yeah.
hope. And I'm just as afraid for all of my queer friends and my queer community as I and my journalist friends and as I am for myself and my family. So I
Yeah.
hope for safety, and I hope that I hope that this doesn't go the way that it may go.
Yeah. I mean, likewise. And to that end, you are a steel magnolia. You are a hero to so many people for speaking out. For first, you're a camp icon and you're a hero. And I wonder if you might just say a little bit about what it means to you, to mean so much to women, to queer people, to be
Uh,
alive.
I'm not sure exactly because it wasn't what I set out to do. You know what I mean? I just wanted to. It was in the beginning. It was just simple right from wrong, and
Yeah.
then it was me getting backed into a corner and reacting out of rage. You know, and then it just became so clear that no one else will do it, so I have to do it. And then then I got so, the more I found out, the more I realized how important it was. And I have to be honest with you, when it started, I wasn't thinking about others. I was thinking of myself. I'm not a liar. Don't do this to me. It was all about myself.
Yeah.
And then it was, it translated to I had to keep going to deflect away from my daughter. It was that simple. It was really that simple. And I wish I had a better story. I wish I could say like, oh, I had this grand plan for humanity or whatever. But no, it was as simple as if I was advertised as being somewhere else, they weren't at my house trying to get pictures of my little girl. And that might sound selfish, but I think any parent can relate to that. And then it became like, what if this was someone else's little girl? What if this was someone else's son? What if this was, and then I just had to keep going. And then there was I'll be honest, there was a long period of time where it was pure spite. You know what I mean? Like, no, this is not true. And then it became very scary. And now the reality is here. And
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel in this moment because the wound is so fresh. I thought we had it. And we're talking about, I have to come to accept the fact that people that I know personally who watched what I went through personally don't care.
Yep.
We watched police officers vote for a criminal who shouldn't have even been allowed to run. We watched for dads vote for someone they wouldn't probably leave alone in the room with their little girl. We watched gay people vote for someone who would take away their partner's rights.
Yeah.
And I can't find the logic in that whatsoever.
No.
Am I saying that the other candidate was the best thing in the world? No, but at least not outwardly channeling Hitler. I mean, it should have been politics 101. That if you're going to run for office, maybe don't compare yourself to Hitler or to Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
Seems, and yet here we are.
Here we are. Here we are. Well, I know we're probably going to have to end soon, Stormy, but I wanted to give you, well, first I want to say I'm still waiting for the love of MILFs. I want that to but I want to give you the opportunity, if there's something else that you wanted to say about For the Love of DILFs or anything, I wanted to give you that opportunity.
I just, I want everybody to watch the show. Even if it's not particularly your cup of tea, first of all, what's wrong with you? Because it's amazing and I'm hilarious.
Yes, you are.
Even if it's not, let's just get those viewer numbers up. Let's show the world that queer people matter, that television shows that talk about these topics are important.
Yeah.
And I think that in case they try to shut it down, and I'm not talking about For the Love of DILF, I'm talking about queer programming and as a whole, not just my show. This is what I'm not being selfish. I'm not trying to help Daddy TV. Sorry, Artie. This is a bigger picture. I think, for my straight friends, my straight fans, people who follow me from my adult career, do me a favor, watch these shows, speak out about how important they are. Whether they resonate with you on a personal level or not is fine. But I do think that showing the world that these people on these shows who produce these shows are important as well helps us with our livelihood and helps get the voices heard.